Eva, and I'm here with your next adventure. Join me as I explore Crystal River, Florida. I know what you're thinking. Crystal River, Florida. What in the world is there to do here? Well, I'm going to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. There's a ton to do. We've come up here to swim with manatees, but never really for a trip and to stay. And I've been really surprised at all the great restaurants, how cute it is. Crystal River, Florida is known as the gem of the nature coast. It is the manatee capital of the world, where people come to the spring-fed rivers and bays that offer an abundance of water activities and the chance to swim with our favorite, the Florida manatees. It's also cute and quaint with a very walkable downtown with shops and restaurants, so there's lots to do. We were very excited to be hosted by Crystal River Watersports and Discover Crystal River for our very first scalloping adventure. We're here with Crystal River Watersports and we are on our way for our scalloping adventure. The boat ride out is about an hour each way. It's a very scenic ride out to the Gulf of Mexico. You can just take in the sights, and if you're lucky, you might even spot a manatee or two. Mike is the owner of Crystal River Watersports, and he actually acted as our in-water guide for the trip.
So, scallop, the shape of a scallop, same as a Shell gas station sign. That's a scallop shell. So, but they're not bright yellow. They're usually going to be brown with algae on top if they're laying flat on the bottom. If they're looking up at you, literally, they have about 46, 48 blue eyes. So each crook of the scallop shell is an eye on the top and bottom. So they see movement. They don't like see detail. So if you're going at it from the front with your hand, it's gonna open and close and try and swim away. If you go at it from the hinge side, you can grab it easier. The other advantage is you tend not to get pinched as much. So it's not a hard pinch, but it surprises you.
A fun fact we learned about scallops and those 200 blue eyes is that they actually operate like telescopes using mirrors. The scallops have tiny crystals in those eyes that help them to form their images. It's a really neat fact considering that they have such complex eyesight to be such tiny creatures. The tour company provides everything you're going to need for the day. You get a snorkel mask, the fins, and a bag to collect your scallops in. Other things you'll want to bring are, of course, sun protection and maybe a light snack because you'll be out in the water for about 3 hours.
So when you see a scallop, you want to reach down and grab it from the hinge, and that way it's not going to pinch you. And you place it in your catch bag and, keep it closed and look for the next one.
Mike really makes this sound so easy, right? So now the fun begins. You snorkel above the seagrass beds looking for scallops. It's like an aquatic egg hunt. You may also see sponges, coral, starfish, tons of other fish, and even some crabs. Once you spot that scallop, you have to dive down to the bottom and scoop it up. All right, so here's my haul. I've got 4. Just a lot of work, but it is fun. While this is a fun, family-friendly activity, you definitely need to be a decent swimmer to do this, and you need to be comfortable out in open water. You can't really wear a flotation device because then you can't dive down to get the scallops. This is very hard work, but it is fun. It is really cool. They've got like little eyes and they can see you coming and they see you and they're like, oh, no, you're not gonna eat me. I bet you didn't know scallops could dance. Now we have to learn how to clean them properly.
To get it open, you run the knife along the top of the shell. So assuming you're right-handed, hold it in your left hand with the dark side up. Okay, We're going to run the spoon along the top of that shell and cut the muscle off of the top shell.
I'll spare you the gory details, but once you get all of the other stuff out of the shell, you'll be left with this perfect muscle. This is the part we eat. This is probably the hardest meal that I have ever had to work for in my life. Okay, I'm gonna try this scallop raw.
You try this one.
Oh, it's actually really good. Honest, I do not clean
tomorrow.
Stuff, but
Yeah.
I cleaned these
you'll
scallops.
leave
I'm so proud of myself. I got over my fear, and it's really not that bad. The scallops on the boat, once you pull the meat away, and then they put them in a bag and pack them on ice. Now we take them somewhere to be cooked. For dinner, we headed to Cajun Jimmy's Seafood Cellar and Cafe, where they took our scallops from this to this. We had ours grilled. You can also get them blackened or fried, and they were delicious. It's just enough for an appetizer, so of course we had to make sure we had a full meal too. And we had to try these alligator ribs. Amazing. Now head over and watch Crystal River Part 2 to see the rest of our fun adventures from this trip.